Ethno-religions are fascinating. They blend cultural identity with religious belief. Unlike universalizing religions, they aren't focused on widespread conversion. Instead, they are intertwined with a specific group's heritage and lineage. This creates a strong sense of belonging and shared history. Conversion is often limited or tied to strict conditions. This distinguishes them from religions with a more universal message. Judaism is a prime example of an ethno-religion. It views religious observance as inseparable from Jewish identity. Conversion to Judaism is possible but often demanding. It requires a deep commitment to Jewish life and tradition. This approach has shaped Jewish history. It has led to the preservation of Jewish identity despite centuries of diaspora. It also highlights the unique relationship between faith and ethnicity in ethno-religious groups. Imagine a world where Christianity and Islam were ethno-religious. It's a radical shift from their universalizing nature. Imagine them deeply intertwined with specific ethnicities. Conversion would be rare, maybe even impossible. This would paint a drastically different picture of history and global interaction.
The Middle East, a cradle of these faiths, would be unrecognizable. Without large-scale conversions, empires like the Islamic caliphates wouldn't have formed. The region might resemble a patchwork of smaller states. These states would be defined by distinct ethno-religious groups. Conflict wouldn't disappear, but its nature would change. It would revolve more around territorial disputes and less on religious differences.
Africa, too, would experience a profound shift. The spread of Christianity and Islam across the continent was deeply intertwined with colonialism and trade. If these religions were ethno-religious, their impact would be minimized. Traditional African religions might have flourished. The continent's religious landscape would be vibrantly diverse. It would be defined by a mosaic of indigenous faiths.
Europe's history would be dramatically rewritten. The Christianization of the Roman Empire wouldn't have occurred. This event shaped Europe's religious landscape. Without it, Europe might resemble a patchwork of pagan and Christian communities. The Crusades, driven by religious zeal, wouldn't have happened. Instead, conflicts would likely focus on political and economic power.
The absence of large-scale conversions could have altered the trajectory of knowledge. The Islamic Golden Age, known for its scientific and philosophical advancements, might not have occurred. This era was fueled by a spirit of intellectual exchange across the Muslim world. In Europe, the Renaissance might have been different without the Church's influence. It's impossible to know for sure, but the world might look very different. Many historical conflicts were fueled by religious differences. The Crusades, the 30 Years' War, and countless others were driven by a clash of faiths. In our alternate world, these conflicts might not have happened. This isn't to say the world would be peaceful. Human history is rife with conflict, often driven by power, land, and resources. But the absence of religious wars might have fostered greater tolerance and understanding between different cultural and ethnic groups. With Christianity and Islam confined to specific ethnic groups, pagan beliefs might have persisted longer. These ancient faiths, often tied to nature and local traditions, might have offered a spiritual alternative. The world could see a resurgence of ancient gods and goddesses. Different regions might develop their own unique blend of pagan and monotheistic beliefs. Even without religious conflict, human nature remains unchanged. We are capable of great love and terrible violence. History teaches us that conflict is often rooted in deeper issues. These issues include struggles for power, resources, and cultural dominance. Even in a world without religious wars, human beings would still find reasons to disagree, to compete, and unfortunately to fight. This exploration of an alternate world is a thought experiment. It is not to suggest one religious model is superior. Instead, it highlights the profound impact religion has on human civilization. It underscores the importance of understanding different faiths. By imagining a world where major religions are ethno-religious, we gain a new perspective. We see the complex interplay of faith, culture, and history in shaping our world. It allows us to reflect on the nature of belief and the enduring human capacity for both conflict and cooperation.